So I have this deck of cards, and I kind of want to transform it. What do you think? Wildflowers, cards, tea bags. Hi everyone, my name is Mary Lou, and this is Create Junk Journals with Mary Lou. Yes, you can hear the printer going crazy beside me, so please just ignore that. What I am going to do is, for Monday morning, I am going to do something with some playing cards. I wanted to do something that everybody has and that everybody can participate in. So I thought, why the heck not something with some cards? So I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take, let's do 4. 4 is a good number. I do want a couple of different designs. So I have the 4 of clubs, the Jack of spades, 9 of hearts, and Ace of diamonds. And I'm going to transform them into something for my nature journal. So the first thing I need to do is grab a glue stick, because this is a project that is best done with a glue stick. And I don't very often create things with a glue stick, but in this case, that is what I am going to have to do. I'm going to use some book page, because I have a little bit of book page from the book that I am harvesting for my nature journal. And the book that I'm using is from 1930, and it is called Biology and Human Welfare. So I have lots of pages that I can use, but I also have a lot of pages that I can't use in my journal. And those are the ones that are fantastic for a project like what I am doing now. So the first thing I'm doing is putting glue stick all over. And I am sticking the book page onto the playing card. And then I'm grabbing my bone folder, and I am just really attaching it. And as you can tell, I'm not really wasting any time this morning. I am getting right to it because I need everything to dry and stuff. So things to do, actually. So I had a few people ask me to scan my papers that I had created. But what you didn't know is that I had way more than the ones that I made on camera. I had so much. And I scanned it all, and I am slowly turning it into some paper kits. And then I can do something else with it. I don't know how far I want to take it. You know, I am definitely not one to copy someone else's work. So I don't want to go into like a whole color compendium like Louisa Heinzel has done, but I do have some beautiful bits and pieces of work that, you know, I just want to have. I wanted to have it available for myself. That is number one where I'm starting with, and that's how I start with everything. I believe I've said that a few times. When I make a kit, it is not because I think that there's an interest in it or there's a request for it or anything like that. I start my kits because they are they're filling a need for myself. And scanning the papers, of course, means that I now have material for a while to put in my journals and to create and to use in my kits and everything. But I'm also sharing it with you guys so that you can also enjoy them and make things with it. Today, however, I am using the Wildflowers of North America kit. which also started from a need. I wanted to use, I have a beautiful book. It is called Wildflowers of North America, and I wanted to use it in my journal, but it is very vintage and I didn't want to rip it up. So I recreated all the flowers, and I think it took me about 2 months to create. They're not little ones. So I created the images, and then from the images, this needs to dry for a moment anyway. From the images, I created the full kit. So let's go through it. While that is drying, let's go and take a look at what we have here. So this is just the title page. So that is all the flowers in my Wildflower of North America kit. It is available in my Ko-fi and my Etsy shop. My shop is actually growing a lot lately because I have so many things that were all partially finished, and I'd been starting them during the 100-day project and couldn't finish anything. So then now I am finishing everything. So that's why there's a lot happening, but it's all been happening since January, well before January actually. This is also nice and dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rip it right back off. Because I just want some of the page staying left behind. So I'm going to do that for all 4 of them. I'm just tearing the paper right back off that I just spent all that time gluing on there neatly. So I'm making sure that I'm pulling off everything that is loose. There. And one more, maybe one more. Oh, there we go. So it just leaves some bits and pieces of text behind, but not the full page and not all the stuff that is on there. And in this case, this is even neater. If you can see it, it's got the ghost print from the other side of the page, and the top. So that looks even better than the other pages, than the other cards. So next I am grabbing my matte medium, and I am going to collage the tea bags onto the playing cards. So that's always super easy. You just brush the matte medium right onto the card. I'm trying to get a nice thin layer. I don't need a ton of it, but a nice even thin layer would be really nice. And then I'm just laying the tea bag right over top of it and putting a little bit of matte medium right over top. And if I get some creases in the tea bag or anything like that, it's all good. I am not worried about that. It doesn't have to be, or I actually prefer if it's not perfect. And the tea bag is porous, so the matte medium will go through it, and that's why like it's very easy to apply. There we go. That one can dry. And I'll do that with all of them, so I'll speed this up. So the first one is somewhat dry. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the edges off. And how I do that is I have a little sanding disc. And all I do is I just sand around. And then I can easily pull the edge of the tea bag right off. If you manage to rip the tea bag off like I just did, that's okay. It's okay. Like, for what I'm trying to achieve, the grungy look and everything, it is fine if it is not perfect. So there is one. And there we go. They're all done. I have enough tea bags to last me a lifetime, so I don't need to save the little bits and pieces that are remaining. So now I just need to figure out what I want them to look like. Normally I would add lots of lace and frills and everything, but because this is a nature journal, I don't want to do that. I also would normally use vintage photo or something like that to ink them. But again, because it is a nature one, I want something that is a little different. So I am grabbing forest moss and I'm just going to ink this up and then ink around this with the forest moss, especially because it is nature. I just want that green, and the forest moss is a really beautiful dark green that just fits, that just makes it still look grungy. And it doesn't take away from any of the browns. So it's just perfect for what I want to do. There we go. There is number 4. So I have 4 of these cards done to this spot. I think I want to ink just a little bit more on this side. There, that's better. Then I have all these little pieces of the wildflower kit, and I need to pick some that I think are pretty. I have the flowers that I dyed and greenery, because this is what it is intended for. So I'm just picking some of these out, and I love that rusty little look. Oh, and look at this one. It has all the blue in it as well, so that's definitely one. And one more. Do I have one more? I think so. Let's do that one. And then let's grab some greens. I like this one. And what else do I have here? I always think, oh, I have enough, more than enough, plenty. And then the time comes that I need to use them, and then I'm like, should have made so much more. So I will have to make some more of the flowers and the greenery. That is nice too. Which one do I prefer? Maybe this instead of that one. Sure. Okay, so I'm going to put the backgrounds down. I have my glue. And I use Aleene's original tacky glue. I just love it. It does not need, or it doesn't buckle for me or do anything. It just glues, and it glues solid, and it is easy to use. And, you know, it is cheap. When you have to mail order everything, and you know, I can order it from Amazon, but I'm still paying way more than what I should. And it is, in the end, anything different is still just glue. So that's why I use Aleene's, because I don't see the point in using anything that is more expensive than that. And when you live outside of the perimeter from Winnipeg, then there is no such thing as a good craft store. So that is another part of the problems. So I'll speed this up a bit and you can see what I am doing, but I am just going to put a little bit of music on it, and we'll get through this part a little bit faster. want something else on here, and I definitely don't want lace or anything, but I have this fabric that is nice and grungy, and I think it would also make for some great strips to use on here. So I'm just ripping a few strips off. And this is really gauzy material, but it's actually like a linen or something. It's not cheesecloth, so. And look how beautiful that tears. When you get these threads, these kinds of threads, that is exactly what you want. So I'm just going to put that right there, just to get a little texture and stuff on here. There. And I'm trying to put them all in different positions so that that doesn't look like I was mass producing these cards, even though I am mass producing these cards. That one doesn't have very much fraying going on. So I need to fix that a little bit. I want some more roughness in the fabric. There we go, that's much better. And then I'll put it right along the top. There. Can I still lift this flower up and move it over top? Can I still get it loose? Yeah, I got it loose there. Perfect. There we go. Beauty. Okay, so I'll let that dry before I rip any of the pieces of fabric off. And I am going to ink around all my, or not all my, just the flowers that I want to use. And I'm just using the forest moss again. There. Now I'm going to take a little bit of water and I'm going to put a little water on here. I just want it to look like these images came out of a book and they've been in that book forever. And I'm just going to use this water to mop it up a little bit. Yes, that is exactly what I want, because what happens is both the distress ink and the ink from the printer kind of react to the water. So that's, see, that's what makes this look really cool. And I'm just using my needle nose and going around the whole flower. And I'm just putting glue behind it. And And I'll stick this down. Oh, stick this down right here. Just like that. And right there. And the last one can go, or that's definitely not the last one. There's one more. And then we'll just put this one right here on this side, just like that. And then I want to use some of these labels. Lots and lots of these labels in this kit. There's a full page of these field notes labels. And I thought that was really cool. The things that we find when you start looking is actually pretty amazing. I want it right here on the bottom. So I'm once again using the Forest Moss ink to ink around everything, but now I am also going to use some walnut stain. Oop. Maybe not. I just glued it right down. It's okay. It is okay. I thought I wanted to use walnut stain, but you know, there's already enough grunge on the labels itself. They don't really need a whole lot. And I'm actually shocked because I used scissors to cut these. All day I've been recording videos. I kind of batch record, and every time I was doing that, I was just tearing the paper because I didn't want to really need straight edges. And these I all cut with scissors. So this is just a fun little project. I love making these kinds of cards, and I love layering the labels all over it and doing all of that. So yeah, I can really go in my head when I am doing these. And then I think I want to back them with something as well. So that you can use them as little journal cards or something like that. So I can just put these in a pocket or whatever. Or I can turn them into a pocket or whatever I want to do. I'm not going to back them today. Mostly because there's no reason for that right now. Okay. I want to take the bottom pieces off, or like all those excess pieces of fabric I want to take off. And I still want to make it look grungy, so there we go. It's much easier to take the pieces off when there's lots of tail to the fabric, but when there isn't, then it's a little trickier, so that's why that one just didn't work as it should have, and I may have the same problem here as well. Maybe not. Okay. So I do want to put something else on there. And I have a few where I have like just a location piece or a date or like let's see. Baker Creek at Giant. If I just cut the ends off, then I might be able to fit it. Yeah. Number 2239, right there. And then what else do I have? I need one more of these kinds of things. Local, rare. There. So I'll figure out how I want to place them, but that's the ones that I want to use. And I think I want to put it just like that. So that one is pretty much done. I think it is cute. What is it? It is an embellishment for my journal. That's what it is, on a playing card. And I'm just putting them a little bit slanted at an angle. Why not? That's two. This one left. So I hope you enjoyed this video. The link to the Wildflowers of North America kit is in the description below the video, and it is in both my Ko-fi and in my Etsy shop. So if you are interested, go check it out in either one of those places. The possibilities that I have for it are like, or the vision that I had for it was pretty broad. And I think it is beautiful. I'm going to put all this fabric in here as well. I think it's beautiful. The way that I did it was that I am basically giving you, let's pull one out. So basically I'm giving you a large image of each flower. Where is my, where did it go? Right here. A large image of the flower, a small image of the flower, a label. All you have to do is cut around it and you have yourself a label. Another label, and then another label with the name of the flower on it. Everything is in color schemes per flower set. So the colors in here are matching to that flower, the colors in here are matching to that flower, and so on and so on. All the things are set up the same way. They all have 3 labels. They all have one big image and then one small image. And I believe there's 27 pages. It is not a little kit. It is a big kit. But it is also a very beautiful kit. And I know that I am partial because I created it. But it is, the colors are great to work with, and it is based on the collectible books that you can find with from Brook Bond, with all the wildflowers from North America. So here is my new set of playing cards. Which ones do you prefer? They're just plain playing cards or these? Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are not yet subscribed. If you are already subscribed, well, thank you very much. I am very happy with all my subscribers. You guys are lovely people. I also have a community here on YouTube, and I have a group on Facebook where we get together and we create some things, and that is called Mary Lou's Creative Circle. So if you want to join, please go and check it out, and I would love to have you. For today, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Bye.